Hi. Finally. Can't stand the the black anymore. Suppose I want to make it a little bit lighter, but the black color, the Korean hair coloring is so stubborn. So let's see. Let's see how it's go. Today I want to talk about tea, and mainly want to share my experience. And I have see a lot of people teaching people how to make Asian tea, but it's totally wrong way. Okay. If the title doesn't say that the right way, so I will just like, this is her way, that is fine. But I don't think that should mentions on as a YouTube. And as a Asians, and you talk about Asians tea, people will think, oh, you should know. But I tell you that, like, a lot of Asians, not even Asians, Asians, a lot of Chinese, maybe they brought up from the state, or Canadians or Canada or whatever. Okay. But the thing is, you should know your root. Okay. That is my opinion. So even though, like, I'm born in Malaysia, I consider Malaysian Chinese, but I'm Chinese. Okay. As I know, I'm not sure whether in my, like, the great grandparents, like, I don't know, like, my father's side grandmother, or like those, I'm not sure. But my grandfather, we have like the family history booklet, like we call it Zokpo. So all the generation has been written down. Most of the family who have this, we call Zokpo, like family tree books, is considered is so-called big family. Okay. Is not a farmer's not a farmer family, because as a farmer family, you can see the people, like, name is so very interesting. Okay. And why I'm so, like, mad, well, not really mad, like, I'm very curious, like, Japanese people don't speak Japanese, Chinese people don't know how to speak Chinese, and some people don't even know the last name, the meaning of the last name. Like, I remember, like, when I have a classmate, the last name, he is a Singaporean, and the last name is double E. So I asked him, what is the last name. He said he's Chinese, but he don't speak Chinese at all. Any Chinese dialect he don't speak, and he don't even know the meaning of the last name. So is, like, for me, I think it's very pity. You don't know your root. Is like, I don't know, some people may not care about, like, the family history, where they're from, and things like that. But I don't know, even though I'm not live in where I born, or where my ancestors are, but still the root is there. Okay, it's very strange feelings. Like some people, they are born in like very interesting. When I first go to I migrate to Canada, one of my classmates, he was born in Canada. He's a Japanese. Like both parents Japanese. His father already born in Canada. So from his grandfather was migrate from Japan to Canada. But even though he don't speak or write Japanese, but the way he think, the way like the expressions he has is, he's Japanese, not Chinese, not any Asians. He's definitely Japanese. Yes, I'm very odd. A lot of people can't tell where I'm from. Anyhow, back to the tea. And one more thing. Why I'm so, like, I always tell the kids, like, you have to learn how to use your chopsticks. Even though my kids' classmate friends come to my house to eat, and when they use chopsticks, they don't know, even though they're not Chinese. So I always tell them one story is, I said I went to the banquet for weddings. So in my table, like a Chinese banquet, in a hotel, 5-star hotel. In my table beside me and my partner, there is 2 more Chinese people. You can see from their looks, but they don't speak Chinese, I think. Okay. And then they have some black people. I don't know where they're from, maybe from the States or Africa, I don't know. Okay, so they have 2 black people and some white. No offensive, okay. And then when we start to eat, everyone know how to use chopstick beside that Oriental Chinese. So, and then the black and white people looking at them is like, how come you don't know how to use chopsticks? So since then, every time I see the kids don't know how to use chopsticks, so shame on you, right? And to use chopsticks actually is very, very advantage, because it's longer. So when you need to clip things from far away is much more convenient. Okay, that's it for the crazy things. Back to the tea. I start my tea drinking journeys, or I learned how to drink tea when I was 20. It's very strange. Is I went into a tea shop in Richmond, Canada, BC. A new tea shop opened, so I just go in and just look around. I don't know much about tea because my parents don't really drink tea, except my grandmother, but I don't know, like my mother's side grandmother. So the shopkeeper is an elderly male. Come forward. I said, how can I help you? What type of tea do you want? So I said, I don't know. I just browsing like the new open shop, and I would love to learn some. So he started to give me some tea to try on and say, like, introduce the tea. I know, of course, jasmine tea and pu'er, okay, bolei. And then I don't know anything about the price range, the quality, anything. And then I have some tea that I like of course jasmine tea. A lot of tea beginners love it because it has the floral aroma. It's easy to drink. And then when we chatting, and then found out I know his daughter, friend of mine, is, and also I know her daughter from another friend. Okay, so since then I said, okay, I give you something good. He gave me something called Thịt Cô Nhâm Tai Hồng Po. Normally in the Western, like the can they would call Thể Quan Yin Ta Hong Pao. Okay, and he said that is from a friend and you can't buy it anywhere, so he just gave me a small packet of it, maybe good enough for me to have 6 times or maybe 10 times of tea. Okay, so he teach me how to drink tea, how to, you have to rinse the tea because the tea was have dust and things like that. That's why we have to wash out the first layers. Otherwise you will see, like when you pour the first layer, you can see a lot of like brown bubbles and things like coming out from it. That's why we have to rinse it and throw the first what you call Tayat Pao, we call it, the first shot. Okay, we have to throw it away just to rinse the tea leaves, of course. And then before that we have to warm our teapot in order, just like when you're drinking coffee like espresso, you have to warm your cup also, same thing, because temperature will affect the taste. So after learning from him, I know the very, very basic of tea. Then about when I was 22 to 23, I come back to Hong Kong by myself. And I'm working in a company, a trading company. So I don't really go out. So I'm always in the office, just like talking on the phone, looking for manufacturer, like what my client needs. I need to search for them. So once a while I just go to the exhibition center, and then I just stopped by from a small tea shop and bought some tea which I have tested, and I like the taste. I think it's fine. Then I buy some, and just like I have a small tea set in my office, so I can just relax myself a little bit after lunch or during the tea time, 3 in the afternoon. So and then I go back when my tea finish. I just bought it for about 100 grams. So if you're a tea drinker, you drink it every day, 100 grams is very fast. And I drink strong tea. So I go back to the shop, and then I ask them, do you still have it? I'm looking for this. Is it, oh, is all gone, have to wait for next year. That is a type of Thể Quan Yin Thịt Cô Nhâm. Okay, so and then I go to another shop, a different owner shop, and then I still have a tiny bit of the leftover of the tea, without the box, only the paper, the plastic bag, without any names on it. Okay, so I show it to the salesman, like the tea shop, and then they say, oh, oh, this is a very expensive tea. My owner of the shop only keep this for himself. And then what I'm thinking is like, it's not expensive. Is I remember for 150 gram or 200 grams is only maybe $100 Hong Kong, or 200, something like that. It's not expensive tea, okay? Because I myself don't know much about it, so I will not buy expensive one. So then when she told me that, then I know this shop is not trustable. And then I just go across the street, have another tea shop in like 20 something years ago. Even though now a lot of tea shop are in Hong Kong, okay, but I have to be careful. Another tea shop which the a man which is not a handsome man, okay, definitely much more older than me, and he don't even care, is like asking me what I want, so it's good. So I just browse around myself, and then it's good that I don't feel any pressure that I need to buy something and hurry up like that. So I just take my time to browse, and then I remember in that time I also buy something for me, like I need to buy something for a Japan visit. I need to go to Japan, so I bring some tea for the Japanese vendor. So I just buy some tea, not tea set, because most Japanese people have teapot in their house, so I will not buy those. I just buy the tea. I buy about a couple of it, and then I just go and pay, because most of the time they have some tea sample, like the open one, so you know how is the quality of the tea after you're drinking some of it. And it's hard to tell you how the tea, like the quality of the tea from here. You have to sniff, of course you have to taste, then after you test it out, then by talking to you, just like how do you know that is a good wine, okay? Even though it's a very expensive wine, doesn't mean it's good, and expensive doesn't mean it's worth that price. You know what I mean? The price of wine is getting so high. Wine is another story, okay? So I buy and then I go very fast. So the next time I go back, and then he asked me, he recognized me, and then he asked me, I visit him after dinner, no, so after work. So I have plenty of time before my dinner time, about like maybe 2 hours before that. So I just go to his shop, and then I want to learn more. I can feel that this guy knows something. The price is very what you call he's a very what honest, okay? When the tea costs 100, maybe he mark up some, and then that's it. It's not that a tea costs $100 and then they pop it up to $1,000 and tell, this was worth $1,000. Not that kind of shop, okay? When you have experience with tea, then you know. Then I start talking with him, and then because he recognized me, and then he asked me, how do you like the tea last time that you have purchased? How do you like it? So I tell him that, very well. And then I start asking him like, what's the difference between the tea? What should I expect it to have the quality of tea? Why it is like $100 something per 100 gram, and then some pop up to 400 something per 100 grams. And then he's very good. So let's sit down, then I show you. Then he just brewed some tea for me and have me to try it out. So then I learned why I'm drinking with him. Then he will describe like, first you have to look at the color. Second, you have to smell it. Third, you have to drink it. It's not to smell and then to read. You have to read it first. Okay? The color, what's the color tell you? What's type of tea should show, like the character, the color of the character. The color of the character, the character of the color, whatever, okay? The color will tell you what type of tea is it. Is it old or something like that, okay? So he teach me a lot. And then the other thing is, I wonder, like I said, like how come some teapot, the clay pot, why is it so expensive? Why is it some is in that time, one we call it a 1 person teapot. Teapot, there's this, the clay pot is that big. Some is cost 100 something, some is cost 1,000 something or more. I said, why is it different between old and new? Because they always said the old teapot is better than the new one. Then he started to explain to me why and how, and then he tested out. He used the same like teapot, a teapot, brew some tea in it. First wash, the first shot we throw it away. The second shot you start to taste. Normally is expensive tea is like, for example, like Tae Guan Yin, okay, is normally is about the 3rd or 4th shot start to taste better, the best shot, okay? And then a good expensive one, you can make about 7 rounds of shot, okay? So after the 3rd, 4th shot, suppose the tea is starting to go downwards. Then he transferred the tea to an old teapot, and then he brewed the 5th for me. Then you can taste, ooh, it's different. How come it's like alive again, and the tea itself is more enhanced? Can't explain. And that it is, okay? So that is my first lesson of tea and teapot, and next time maybe I have to show you the tea, okay? After my experience, then continue next time, otherwise we'll be over time. And then the next things I want to explain to someone about the bitter melon tea. Why I'm not really recommend for you, like drinking regular of it, is we consider bitter melon is like yin yang, hui han, we call like cool body or hot body, because most of the people when they reach certain age, even though you are a man, your body becomes more cooler. So when the bitter melon is more cool, so your body is cool, so cannot balance the cool and hot body, okay? That is why I'm not really recommend, but once a while is fine. And also, the inventor of the bitter melon tea is a place called Chongqing in Japan. I write out the name, okay? Because that place of Japan is like, I think they are hotter than Hawaii. The average temperature, sunshine, beach all the time. So the body absorb a lot of sunshine and things like that. So the body is much more warmer than us, where has like winter time. Okay, this is, you have to know that your body, whether you can drink that we consider cool tea. Otherwise you will feel like your hands, and especially if your hands and feet always feel cool, I not really recommend that. But once in a while is fine. But as a medicines to lower your blood sugar or your things, I don't recommend. Okay, that's it for today. Next time we'll continue tea part 2. Okay. Bye bye.